But in terms of monetary success, it does make life easier.
It's a very important word towards success, and you really have to have it. And if you don't have it, most likely you're not going to be successful. Never, ever quit. If you're a quitter, I hope you quit right now and stop watching immediately, because you'll never make it.
Mr. Trump, are you afraid of failing?
I'm not afraid of failing. You know, life, you look and you turn on the newscasts every night and you see thousands of people killed in earthquakes and tsunamis and hurricanes and all of the problems and wars that we shouldn't even be in, and lots of different things. And when you see all of the problems in the world, what is there to be afraid of? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You know, to a certain extent, it all doesn't matter. And I tell people that because it takes pressure off. If it matters too much, they're going to be like basket cases. It really doesn't matter. You want to enjoy what you do. You want to do a great job for yourself and your family. But ultimately, in the scope of things, what really matters? And that does take a certain amount of pressure off. And I'm not sure that Robert agrees with my statement, but I see people, they're so intent on doing something, and it's so scary, and they can't even function properly because it's so important to them. And sometimes you say to yourself, it doesn't matter if it works, if it doesn't work. And that takes that real big, high level of pressure off, and you can perform better. I would always say to people, and I'd see people, and I'd say, you got to love what you do. Because, you know, if you love what you do, you work harder. But it's not work. You've got to love what you do. You've got to work hard. Never, ever quit. The other thing is never, ever give up. Just keep going forward. Never stop. It may seem like you have no chance. It may seem like it's over. Never, ever quit. If you're a quitter, I hope you quit right now and stop watching immediately, because you'll never make it. One of the things people talk about is luck. And I do believe that people are lucky, and some people are luckier than others. I do believe that. But there's also an expression, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I can tell you 10 instances where I didn't quit when it was 1990, the world was coming down, the debt markets were, everybody, all of my friends and enemies were going bankrupt. I never did. And the times were actually just terrible. And even today, you look at times and you see what happens, and you have to learn. But the word luck is very interesting. But if I didn't work really hard, I probably would not, almost definitely would not be here today.
You're famous or notorious for your work ethic. You've got everything that most people would dream of, and you don't let up. This quality of self-discipline, is it something that you were born with, or can it be learned?
Well, I think self-discipline can be learned. I think you really can teach yourself self-discipline. If you want something badly enough, you'll probably have discipline. If you're going to be a great athlete, you have to work hard. If you're going to be a great business person, you have to work hard. It's no different. It's a different form of work. But self-discipline's a very important word towards success, and you really have to have it. And if you don't have it, most likely you're not going to be successful.
We're talking about success. Most people think success is measured in the form of monetary success. It's not really. I mean, to me, a successful person who has a great family, who loves the family, loves the children, and the children love him or her, to me, that's a much more successful person than a person that's made $1 billion or $10 billion and is miserable and doesn't have a good family and nobody likes the person. And, you know, I've seen them. I think I've seen every type of person there is that God created, if you want to know the truth. And the people are the happiest are not necessarily the people that are the wealthiest, okay? But in terms of monetary success, it does make life easier. You don't have to worry about food and housing and education and sickness. Your doctors, you go to the best doctors, and hopefully that solves the problems.
But you have to have the ability to handle pressure. And if you can't handle pressure, you have to know that about yourself. You have to know that about yourself. So, handle pressure. If you can't, that's okay. But one of the things I tell people about handling pressure is, remember, because they asked me the question, how do you handle the stress? And, you know, somebody actually said, Donald, you're so handsome. Do you believe this? I love this person.
you're so handsome. How have you stayed so handsome under all this pressure? And I actually thought of it to myself. You have to remember, it doesn't matter. God matters, your family matters. It doesn't matter. And if you say it, I have some people, they say, I've got to be successful. I've got to be. They'll never be successful. It's too crazy. They can't think straight. So you've got to be able to sort of say to yourself, nothing matters that much other than the real big deals with family, with your faith, etc. Okay.